Good morning, Hayom Yom, Zayin Iyar, the 22nd day of the Omer. So our sages tell us that when you put on a Tallis, it's not enough to just wear the Tallis, but you need to wrap yourself in the Tallis. And the Rebbe in his Shulchan Aruch brings down an opinion that interprets this to mean that when you put on a Tallis, you need to wrap it around you the same way Arabs wrap cloth around their faces. It needs to fully cover your face. It needs to come over your head and all the way down past your mouth. But then in the Rebbe's Siddur, he writes that the Tallis needs to come over your head, past your eyes, not past your mouth. So the Rebbe tells us in today's Hayom Yom that we follow the Siddur. When you put on a Tallis, it doesn't need to go past your mouth. It only needs to go past your eyes. Now it's interesting to note that in the original printing of Hayom Yom in the year 1943, the Rebbe only wrote that it doesn't need to go past your mouth. Only in the revised edition in Tafshin Yud Zayin, the Rebbe added in this line that it does, though, need to go past your eyes. Now, when someone asked the Rebbe where he knows this from, how he knows that this is the law, he said that this is what the Frierdiker Rebbe told him. Now, throughout the 49 days of Sefirah, during the time between Pesach and Shavuos, there is a Jewish custom to study Masechta Shavuos, to study tractate Shavuos, which is a tractate in the Gemara which has 49 pages. So one page corresponding to each of the 49 days of Sefirah. But the Rebbe tells us, based on what he heard from the Frierdiker Rebbe, that it's our custom not to study Shavuos, but to study Masechta Sotah, the tractate of Sotah, which is another tractate in the Talmud that also has 49 pages. The thing is, though, tractate Sotah doesn't actually have 49 pages. It really only has 48 pages. Because although the last page in the Masechta is page 49, every Masechta in the Gemara, every tractate in the Talmud only starts on page 2. So it means there's only 48 pages in the Masechta. So to fill in the 49th page, we include the Sharblat, the introductory page, which is generally not really learnt. So that's included, and that gives us a total of 49 pages for the 49 days. But because of that, on the first day of Sefirah, you don't actually really learn anything in Sotah, because the corresponding page is the introductory page, which isn't usually learnt. You only start learning Sotah on the second day of Sefirah. Now, the Rebbe once explained this custom. The Rebbe explained why do we study Sotah during this period, and he explained it based on a teaching of the Zohar. The Zohar tells us that the 7 weeks of Sefiras Haomer correspond to the 7 days of Nida. It corresponds to the 7 days that a man and his wife are not allowed to be together. They can't be intimate. And the Zohar says that this temporary separation, this temporary alienation, actually ultimately in the end fosters greater intimacy and brings them closer together. So he says in the same way, the 7 weeks of Sefirah are a time to be by yourself and to self-reflect and to develop your character, and that culminates and ends in Shavuos, which is called the beginning of the marriage, the union between us and our husband, between Jewish people and God, the marriage between Hashem and the Yidden, that great, powerful union, which comes after the 7 weeks of separation, of self-reflection. And the Rebbe said that based on the Zohar, we can now understand why we learn Sotah during this time, because this message is basically the theme of Sotah. The whole Sotah is describing where husband and wife become alienated from each other. They become separated. And that, though, is only temporary. At the end of the story, at the end, she drinks the Mei Sotah, she drinks the Sotah waters, and she becomes vindicated. And now they can be back together, and not only that, but now their marriage is blessed and becomes stronger, and they share deeper connection and deeper intimacy. Have a wonderful day.